Welcome to a new You Don't Need That Shit, and technically this is part 49 because I filmed part 48 already, but it was unusable because I'm a dumb fuck and I didn't check that my microphone wasn't charged. So actually everything that I filmed last week, starting on Thursday, Friday and Saturday, was unusable. So about, I don't know, like 7 or 8 hours of content unusable, to the trash, down the drain. But of course, I will not keep on counting because for you, this is the You Don't Need That Shit. Let me check. Yeah, 48. And we have some items to discuss. And I was again a bad girl, so please don't judge me. Just be my friend. Be cool, because maybe we can just excuse the purchases for good reason sometimes. For good reason. And before we start the video, you know the lip of the day is this time the Isomaya Dick Stick in the shade Shallows. This is such a beautiful bronze color, and I never thought that I will be in colors like this or into colors like this, but I love it. And if you wonder what the fuck do I have on my eyes, well, let me tell you, it's this. Yeah, I bought the Natasha Denona Golden Palette. Technically, I didn't buy this from my money because this is 100% paid by my very first YouTube paycheck that you made possible. So thank you for the gift. I really want to mention though that this picture of the new Golden Palette is not what the Golden Palette looks like. The mattes, these four here, are so close to each other, I call them very redundant. But my full review, including these two looks, plus pictures of the first two looks that I filmed and which footage I wasn't able to use, will be up tomorrow, so make sure you subscribe. In that collection, I didn't screenshot that, are also a highlighter trio and a golden glimmer gloss. The glimmer gloss looks like absolutely nothing, and while I do kind of like the light highlight in that trio, I just know that I will not be able to use the other highlights. I just wish that Natasha Denona would come out with these new highlighter formulas in singles, because I do have, for example, the Dream Glow highlight in two trios that she already launched, and that pearl one looks actually very stunning, but I don't want to purchase that trio because of the fact that 2 out of the 3 shades I will not be able to use. If you want to pick up anything of this collection from the Natasha Denona website, make sure you use a discount code. If you want to support me, you can use my code, it's ELLAKINKLEY, and it'll save you 15% of everything. Spoiler to tomorrow's review, I like this palette more than I thought. So last week I did a bit of a mistake with the new Shellwe makeup release. I said that the Elaina palette is the collab palette with Freya 86, but I was corrected in the comments, and then I looked it up on the Shellwe website, not website, the Instagram account, and on Freya's account, and I swear to God, to the makeup gods, that when Shellwe announced this collab palette, they said that this is the Elaina palette. I swear to you, I did not make this up, but facts are now, this is the Elaina palette. Here's a sneak peek of the Elaina one. This is not the collab palette. This is like a random summer palette that will come out, I think in June 18th. So basically next week, next Monday, next Tuesday, it will be up, and this is one that does not come in the mini size. If you've ever shopped from Shellwe, they usually have full size and then also mini sizes of the palette that have half the grams in the pan and are also a bit smaller, but you also pay just half the price. To me, the Elaina palette is just nothing that interests me because of that color story. But what I'm interested in is the one with Freya, and that is called Somber Garden and will be available in August. And if you want to get these palettes or anything else from Shellwe, I also do have their 6-pan highlighter palette. That is on its last restock. That one, highly recommended. You can save 10% with my code ELLAKINKLEY on the website. So Westman Atelier called, they want to have their components back, and Hailey Bieber was like, no, because I'm Hailey Bieber, I do whatever I want. How ugly is this, honestly? It doesn't matter if this is Rhode, and if I hate Rhode, and if I'm just not a fucking fan of Hailey Bieber. I think she's such an overrated person. Why this packaging? Why? The blush can be the best blush on the market. Absolutely. I still wouldn't try it because it's Rhode, but it could be the best one ever to exist. But this bulky shit packaging, no thank you. Her nails look like she just swiped through a big pan of old grease. I don't like that donut trend. I think it's ugly. By the way, I have finally nails again. I found a new brand of nail stickers, of UV nail stickers that I can use. Love that. Glossgots came out with the new hybrid cloud bronzer, and I'm honest with you, I am very, very confused about these 3 shades available because I, for myself, when I look at these, none of them will match me, I'm pretty sure. They look all so freaking dark. No, thank you. And here is the other thing, they are only $18, so that is quite an okayish price, but they only come with 3.5 grams of product. The packaging is so big and bulky, the pan is so small and little. They could have executed this better. Honestly, this is a bit of a letdown actually from Glossgots. In my point of view, I'm just not very big on bronzers in general, so I'm also maybe not the targeted audience for this. But if you are the targeted audience for this, if this is something that you see on yourself, maybe the colors also match you, you can either choose just the single hybrid cloud bronzer, or you can buy a kit with a liquid contour and a matching brush. And if you want to get this, make sure you use a discount code. I do have one, it's ELLAKINKLEY, and it will save you 5%. Gucci will come out with highlighters, I think. We have only 2 shades visible here. One is a light lilac, and the other one is a deep bronze brownie color. Honestly, I'm very, very excited, and once these launch, I will 100% get the pink, or no, not pink, the purple highlighter. It looks absolutely stunning. The only Gucci makeup item that I actually have is one of their silk blushes. Is it called silk? The tiny ones that are fucking expensive. I like the blush. I think it's a very, very pretty formulation. I like how they apply, so I have high hopes that this highlight is going to be awesome too. But there is no release date whatsoever at the moment. But we do have a release date for the new Natasha Denona Lift and Flex concealer. They come in 20 shades, and personally I am a bit confused about the shade range because when you just look here at the bottles, the first shade looks like a plain white, while the second shade looks like a way too dark yellow. I am very, very confused about the shade range, so I have to wait until this is here and until we have some comparisons. If one of the shades might match me for my under eye area, I will 100% pick this up because this whole Danessa Myricks skin line, I will not say the YUMMY word because I think this is a disgusting name, but I love their blurring balm. I love the water powder serum. This is just such a gimmicky product, but I love it to death. And I also enjoy so much the skin tint from that line. It is an amazing skin line and nothing really was a letdown for me. Actually, they're all kind of favorites or top 3 favorite products. So I'm really, really curious about the concealer and I have very high expectations. It will release July 2nd on the American Sephora site, so I'm pretty sure that in Germany it will launch, I don't know, somewhat mid-July probably. Made by Mitchell added now glittery liquid eyeliners to the mix in a pencil format with one of those like felt tip applicators, and I don't know, was I drunk? Was I sleep drunk? I don't know. I ordered the shade Fire Truck and I don't even use liners like this. I have no clue why I did this, but I want to incorporate this. Maybe it's just because I'm a big fan of the Made by Mitchell brand and I just want to try as much as I can from them. The shades in general look actually really, really pretty, although I cannot imagine how anybody would, for example, wear Rose Petal as liner. I see this more as maybe like an inner corner graphic line thing, but not so much as classic eyeliner. I'm really curious about the formulation because if I use felt tip eyeliners, and I honestly only have ones from Colourpop, these one I like. The Twilight eyeliners, they're awesome. I will now say something that some of you might shook to the core, because these are upcoming highlighter duos from Patrick Ta. Oh my god. I want to have it. I want to have two shades. I want to have that clear white one, and I want to have the pink one. The clear one I think is called Crystal. No, it's called My Love, and the pink one is called Baby. I want to have them. Secret here, I had both of the major headlines blush palettes, and in the second one that came out 2022 there was a highlighter duo in there, and that was my favorite product from that palette. The two blush shades were pure shit, but that highlighter duo, oh my fucking godness, I love that. And I was waiting now patiently for 2 years to have this. I hope that he would come out with highlighter duos much earlier. So I am guessing that there either was kind of a problem, or they worked on improving these formulations, because a lot of people criticized them while I found them quite okay. But I want to have them. And as soon as they launch on Cult Beauty, you better bad whatever you will, I will buy two shades. I don't fucking care. They will be available June 14th on Sephora. So I really hope Cult Beauty, please bring these as soon as possible, because I want to have them. I just now checked 3 posts from Patrick Ta. A lot of people are asking for a date when it will be on Cult Beauty, but no answer yet. So I just hope that it will not take half a year or longer to launch there. I mean, if someone wants to gift them to me, I will not be mad. So I would like to have My Love, Baby and Sugar. No problem, thank you. This launch is a bit weird to describe. So we all know MAC and Viva Glam. If you have never heard about MAC and Viva Glam, pause the video, go to my channel and watch my MAC brand review that I did months ago. The new Viva Glam lipsticks, for example, are made with Kim Petras. She's a German transgender singer. You probably know her from that Unholy song with Sam Smith. Do you know how long it took me to understand what body shop means in English? Because my German innocent person was like, what is he doing unholy at the body shop? Like smearing the moisturizer on the wiener? What's going on? But then I googled what body shop is in like slang. And in case you didn't know, it's a strip club. I learn so much, so many new things every single day. And in case you don't know what Viva Glam in general is, it is their campaign to just support, let me just read that from the website. MAC Cosmetics charitable campaign that was founded in 1994 to raise money and awareness for HIV/AIDS at a time when the pandemic was dramatically affected fashion communities in wider world. And this palette that we are seeing here, this is the Celebrate 40 Years of MAC Pride with a limited edition eyeshadow vault featuring a rainbow of 40 new and best-selling bring-back shades. This limited edition palette will create limitless looks with a mix of textures from metallic to matte. 100% of this palette's price supports MAC's Viva Glam's mission to LGBTQIA plus equality and better future for all. When I first saw this release, my immediate reaction was, what in the package design is wrong here? Who smoked what? I think this palette looks very bulky. I have seen some people having it in their hands and it looks humongous. I don't like the inner pan design too. But I love the cause of this palette. I love the charity behind this palette. I love that 100% of the price goes into that. And that's why I bought it. I'm 100% sure that I probably criticized the quality of these shades because, let's be honest, every single MAC eyeshadow that I've tried in the past 2 years was a letdown because they just did not update their formulation to these days standards, to these days punches. While on the other side, I think that when I saw the swatches and some looks with this palette, I also do agree that maybe having a very colorful palette in a more muted manner, although muted and colorful is quite weird to say in one sentence, but it looks like they're not too pigmented. It can be a very good beginner palette if you're new to colorful looks. Okay, 80% of the reason why I bought this palette is to support the charity behind this, and 20% is really curiosity how this is going to be. I myself, I don't know if I can count myself into that community, but I am pansexual, if you never heard of that. It just basically means that I love what I love. I don't care for genders, I don't care for social genders, I don't care of your identification in gender, I don't fucking care. I am open to everybody, and I know that sounded a bit dirty, but open-minded towards everybody, and I can fall in love with everybody, and it doesn't have to be a man or a woman or a trans man, trans woman, or maybe someone who's non-binary. I don't fucking care. I just accept and love, in that case, people. I am able to fall in love with somebody without looking at the gender. So am I part of this community? I have no fucking clue, but I never also made a big deal out of this because to me, this is quite normal. Everybody has preferences and I just happen to have none. My preference is personality. And not gender. So I love the charity behind this palette, so it is to me worth the €150 that I paid for this, especially since 100% goes to that charity. And last but not least, we have a new launch from Clionadh Cosmetics. So good that I have to refilm this because in the first version we only had the outsides. But now we have a peek on the insides and we have the new brought back Paleo and Archeo palettes that have been there, I know, like years ago. And then we have a new edition, the Oceano palette. Honestly, I don't want to have this. I hate this. I know that so many people love these OG palettes. I mean, Oceano is new, but Paleo and Archeo, I know a lot of people love this. They enjoy how this looks, but I find this horrible. Mainly for the fact that to me, Clionadh Cosmetics, just like Lethal Cosmetics, is a brand that is known for single eyeshadows. I don't like when brands like this do pre-made palettes, but if they do pre-made palettes where you can basically depot the shades very easy, like Clionadh did with the Deep Sea Treasures palette, I depotted them and put them in my regular Clionadh palette too. But this palette here, these three palettes have round pens. Clionadh does not have round pens anymore. I knew they had them before they switched to the square ones, but now they have again the round pens. Why, when you bring back these palettes, not adjust them to your current design? Because if these pens were square and I were able to just remove them and put them in a Clionadh normal magnetic palette, I probably would have gotten the Oceano palette because I think that is a pretty color story. Paleo and Archeo, honestly, they're so similar, no reason to buy that. I get that people are very excited for this. It's kind of a bit nostalgia moment for Clionadh Cosmetics, and I think between the first launch of these palettes and where they are now, there is a lot of growth happening. There was a lot of growth happening, and they're still growing and keeping on. These palettes will launch July 5th if you want to have them on the website, but if you happen to be in France, you can also buy them this week at the Beauty Experience in Paris. It's like a, I don't know, makeup convention or something like that. Talking about Lethal Cosmetics, last week in the You Don't Need That Shit, someone was pointing out that the new Avatar collection is not made in Germany, it's produced in China. So my initial reaction was to write their customer service and just ask them what's the reason behind that. And they answered me that they announced it with the 2 Up palette actually, which I completely didn't check that, that they start to produce now part of their stuff outside of their own warehouse in Berlin, and that they now work together with new factories in EU or in China. They also told me that all of their like standards when it comes to ethical things, animal rights and stuff are not hurt by that they check everything, and that they are not private labeled. So that is the official answer from Letha Cosmetics. I'm very happy that they answered that. To me, I understand that, because they wrote that one of the reasons is just that they grew so much that they do not have the capabilities anymore to produce it in Berlin in their factory. My second thought would be then just get a bigger factory. Like, if you really grow that much, why not reinvest the money? Because when they now take the money to produce in China, do you know what that means? Better wins for them. But that is just my take on this. Personally, I'm happy that Letha Cosmetics grows so much, because they are just, in fact, a great brand. And it's kind of cool that they're a German brand that gets so much recognition in the community. But I still stand by the fact that I don't like the fact that they are changing their pen sizes and shit all the time. By the way, last week's video, someone was commented that this is Western privilege to complain about pen sizes. And I asked them to please explain themselves. I wanted to know what exactly they meant, but unfortunately they didn't answer. How do you feel about this week's releases? Is there anything that is tickling your pickle? Did you also buy the MAC palette just to support the charity behind that? Is it something that you would do? Let me please know in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed, and I just want to say thank you once again for all your support, all the things that you do here, the interaction and shit that has given me engagement and making me grow, and I cannot wait to see what the future holds for you and for me. Comment your opinion on those new releases, and if you do not have an opinion, you don't know what to comment, comment. I just started to grab things that are laying here in front of me, so comment hair clip. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.